Welcome to Grown Men Chopping It Up with J.R. Ryder and Carrie with the K. This is a grown-up place for grown-up talk. Put the kids to bed and crank up the volume. And let's get to it.
Today's podcast is brought to you by the Italian Chandelier. This position requires 2 pull-up bars spaced approximately 2 feet from one another. The man hangs from one, while the woman hangs from the other facing him. The woman swings over and wraps her legs around the man, such that they are coitally engaged while facing one another. The man and woman then swing their bodies slightly, providing the movement for intercourse. Variations of this position involve the woman looking away from the man, who enters her anally. The position is also known as Tarzan Catches Jane, or the TCJ. Dude, I am so bummed. My pull-up bar broke the other day when we were doing the Italian Chandelier, and I think I broke my coccyx. That's like a tailbone. It's not the actual cock. It's a coccyx. So we have the Latino Nino back with us.
Live and in the flesh.
Well, it's been good to have you. It's been a while. We weren't able to record for a while. Weather and bullshit and me having to work. So I know some of the listeners want to know what eventually happened with that young lady.
Yeah. I still want to know what happened with that. But, you know, we have a mutual friend, as I said in the previous conversation that we had. And that person would inform me on some things, but I can tell she didn't want to betray this person's trust, so she wouldn't give me a lot, and I respected that.
Ooh.
But she would tell me some things that I wasn't supposed to know.
Oh.
So she did bend the rules a little bit.
Watch out.
That's my girl. It's my partner. Her partner too. But she was also starting to feel that this girl was starting to play games, and she wasn't appreciating that.
Fuck that.
But right. So she would tell me, well, I think where we left off in our conversation, me and you, Carrie with the K, is what happened?
We were saying like, what's the next step in asking her out or whatever?
Right. Yes, that's right. You gave me some tips. Okay, so let's speed it up. We had a little event that was a part of our job. And before that, as that was building up, our mutual friend, we'll call her Eva. So Eva would tell me like she likes you, she's still upset with you, and I think she wants you to do more. And as I told you, Carrie with a K, in the conversation we had, I feel like I've done enough.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I did do a little bit more after me and you spoke. So what happened was, when this event came about, there was a little bit of drink in the cup and a little love in the air.
Watch out.
It was the holidays. A little event for the holidays. We decided to do something after that function. Just a tight-knit group, and we went somewhere else and continued the festivities. Me and her weren't talking. Everybody else was talking to each other, but her and I were not, right? Finally, there was a moment where someone else sitting next to her walked away and engaged with someone else. So she's sitting there, and everyone's busy talking with each other.
Right.
She's like not in a conversation at that moment. I break away from my conversation, a little bit of that, good tasting rum flowing off the chalice into my tongue and stuff. So I walked over there and I was like, "What's up? What's good?" She's like, "Hey." So I was like, "Well, look, man, I just want to be straightforward with you. I was like, I still want to be cool with you no matter what, regardless of what has happened." I go, the thing about it is the reason why I took a step back was because, we were in close proximity to each other, and I'm not sure if it's a conflict of interest. But I ended up liking you, and I just wasn't sure what step to take that to. I didn't know if it was something that I shouldn't do, because people always say don't shit where you eat and this and that, and you got to think about that. I got responsibilities to take care of. Is it worth it? Are you serious? Right. And even if you're not serious, as long as we can find that middle ground, we're good. Because now this is not what I told her.
Right. This is what you thought.
No, that I said, right? But right now, I'm gonna tell you my thought process.
Got it.
So this is me not talking to her at this moment.
Right.
This is me explaining to you. So, there was 3 ways we could have been: just friends, seeing if it can go somewhere, or be fucking fuck buddies, man. And to be honest with you, the friends with benefit thing to me would have worked the best because I didn't think she was responsible enough to be the type of woman that I could really sit there and put my time into and emotions into a relationship. I just didn't think she was responsible. Beautiful as hell. Yeah. And sometimes men don't think with the brain they're supposed to think with.
Yeah.
But when we did spend time, it was great. It was good. But something in my gut told me,
check her Adam's apple.
Oh, no. Dude, all that gets checked out day one.
There's something in my gut.
Day one. But something in my gut told me she's probably not the one. You guys have a great time, but it would be something that if you tried to be serious about it, it's probably going to hit a wall somewhere. So that was in the back of my head too. That's why I was always slow to, you know what I'm saying, make that official move.
That makes sense.
Right? Plus, we're in proximity to each other. You see what I'm saying? Don't want to make things awkward, and then the smallest little shit already made things awkward.
Yeah.
So imagine if, you know what I'm saying, we were in a situation where I, got the opportunity to,
smash.
Okay. See, I'm trying to be a little more diplomatic about it, but I should be more free about it.
He's trying to be less toxic.
Right. That's another topic. So I figure if I would have entered her body.
Yeah, that's funny. Like an alien.
Right? If I would have probed her, I think that I'd be in major issues with her because of if something that doesn't involve that much emotion can get her to act a certain way.
Yeah.
Imagine if her emotions are actually really involved and we fall out over something. How much more bad would that have been?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
She's fucking nuts.
So now going back to our conversation that I had with her at this little after party thing. I was straight up with her and I told her. She came back with some BS shit because she's always got to be right. I've always got to be the one that's wrong. It seems like that's our dynamic at this point. There's nothing I can say where she'll be like, yeah, you know what, you're right.
What?
It's always, no, but you did this. No, but you did that. Oh, but you said this and you said that.
That's whack.
So I'm like, explaining why I did what. So to bring the listeners back to speed, as I was telling Carrie with a K, in our phone conversation, episode 1, that we fell out over the dumbest shit. Yeah. I had asked her to kick it. She brought up some other cat and said, "Why are you trying to use his style or something like that?" which I wasn't. But I was like, that was very distasteful. Yeah. So I called her on it. Of course, she wanted to act like I was wrong about calling her on it.
Of course.
So I told her, I said, well, if you can't even admit that maybe that was uncalled for, how much more difficult are you gonna be going down the road?
Right.
So I was like, well, shit, if you're gonna act like that, maybe we, need to take a step back.
Yeah, for sure.
So she took that step back as, okay, motherfucker, you got to crawl back.
Fuck that.
And I'm like, I ain't even hit that shit yet. I ain't crawling for nothing, right?
Yeah, you can't do that.
So, as my friend would tell me, I think she wants you to do a little more. Like, she don't feel satisfied by you explaining to her this and that. I'm like, I ain't doing anything more. I refuse to do anything more.
Right.
I don't have to do anything more. I've explained my situation, though I feel like I shouldn't have to. We're both grown-ups. You know what the fuck went down. If your feelings got hurt because I said, well, shit, maybe we should take a step back, then that's really what it is.
She's not used to rejection.
Right. She's fine as fuck. She probably doesn't get rejected.
Ever.
You know what I'm saying? Or if a guy has tried to act tough with her, he probably realized in 2 or 3 days, oh, she ain't biting on that, come crawling back or whatever. Yeah. I ain't gonna do no shit. I got too much pride.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just, those are things that I look at and it tells me it's not worth it.
Right. She's just another person with a pussy.
I mean, I would like to look at her more than that. You know what I'm saying? There are things that I really did like about her. I thought that she had some great qualities, but she did have some qualities that I wouldn't like really fuck with.
Objectionable.
Right. That's why I've already said my mind that We probably couldn't get serious, but we could definitely kick it and enjoy each other's time for however long that lasts. But we couldn't get there. Just the games, it's just too many games. The whole you gotta chase me, and I don't do the chasing. Chasing to me is I don't even like exercise, so mental chasing somebody is more tiring to me than getting on a treadmill anyway. Right. So that conversation was had at that little thing. Things ended on a positive note.
That's good.
She said, wait a minute, am I skipping? No, I'm not. She said we need to talk more about this. She said that before.
Whoa.
But she has said that before.
She's gonna table it, and it never happens.
It never happens. It's just at this point, it's tabled so long that someone thought it was spoiled food, put it in the bag, threw it in the garbage. It's been that damn long, right?
Damn it.
So this is a pattern now because this has happened before, and I think I told you that on our last on episode 1.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll give it a week. Let's see what happens. Same old shit, same result. Don't say nothing. We see each other. I'm not gonna sit there looking like I'm waiting for her to do something.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, I'm gonna just do what I do. I'm gonna do my day to day. If she don't come holler at me because I've already set the table for her to sit down in the chair, then that's what it's gonna be. Right. The food gonna get cold. Right? So
nobody eating, bitch.
So here's the thing. That went stale.
Yeah.
As it did the last promising time in the conversation that we had on the first episode. It went stale again.
That's nice.
So my friend Eva, she's like, so what happened? I see y'all was talking. I said, it got bumpy for a little bit because she started bringing up things I guess she can't let go.
Yeah.
Little shit. I go, but the conversation ended up on a positive note. And she's like, okay, that's good. And then a couple days later, she calls me and said, yeah, we talked. Her, Eva, and this girl. Yeah. And she's telling her that she's just not. She doesn't feel like it was an apology.
What?
Right, and I'm like, oh, so I didn't know she was waiting for an apology, right? So it's this. Then she'll start picking me apart to this person. At this point, and then she'll say the good things about me, and that. So then my friend, she comes to me and says, I think she just wants you to do more, and I'm like, I'm not, and I'm not going to. With her? We're done. She's just one of those, in my opinion, she's one of those beautiful girls that her beauty allows her to sit back while everyone does everything for her.
I hate that shit.
And I think that's what it is. Very prideful. I think that she feels that she is the shit, and you need to work to get me to like you again. And it's like,
they stay single so long like that.
Yeah. They stay single or they keep jumping from person to person because they ain't gonna deal with that shit. I'm not gonna deal with that. So one minute she's telling my friend Eva that she still likes me, but however she says it. The way my friend Eva translates it to me is that the girl wants you to do more.
Fuck.
So I told her I'm not, and that's where we're at this day.
No.
But there be times, so I haven't done anything, so it's been the same. So no positive progress. After you and I had that conversation, Carrie, I did talk to her at that little shindig, and your voice was in the back of my head.
See, go
with that conversation. All you gotta do is just conversate, just talk to her about it, and I did that. I did my part again, so I kind of feel like I've overdone my part.
Yeah, and there's millions of other women.
And here's the thing. I'm very conscious about coming off like I'm begging. Because I ain't begging. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm too much of a good dude to beg for anything.
Because then you have to keep that going if you get the girl.
I'm setting a standard.
Yeah, don't do that.
No. So I'm very conscious of that. Made sure that I didn't come across that way. If she felt that way, she knew the following week that shit wasn't going down. Because I didn't come at her like, can we talk, man?
Here's some flowers.
Yeah, nah, hell nah. Valentine's Day go by like...
You got nothing, bitch.
Yeah, if you got a dude, he ain't sent you shit.
Wow.
But anyways, my friend will always come back to me every now and then because I barely don't talk about this girl no more. But she'll come back and be like, oh, she asked about you. Oh, she said that she's changing for the new year and she's going to start talking to you again.
That's crazy.
And that shit didn't happen. We in February. And I'm just like, you know what, Eva? I don't even worry about it. It's nothing. It's like, I've already done moved on mentally. Like, and when I say moved on, it's not like I was stuck on her. Yeah. But we were friends first. Yeah. I was interested, but we were friends before anything. good friends, enjoyed each other's time and all this and that. Then I started catching some feelings at some point, and
It's natural.
and I didn't jump the gun on it, and I know she wanted me to, but I just didn't due to the circumstances that the close proximity.
Yeah, she wasn't worth it.
Now all this shit happened. She showed me a side of her that I didn't know when we was cool.
Yeah.
And this is a very petty side.
You don't need that.
She's always said she's petty, but there's got to be a word for beyond petty.
Right.
Right? And when I find that word, that's the word I'll use.
Like
but
petty.
it's petty. It's to the point where it's like, come on, we knocking on like 8-9 months where we have a few conversations. Now I will say this: there are times from around Christmas to January that she'll kind of like go out of her way to talk to me about something, but then like refrain. So I'm thinking, are you trying to just give me a little piece so I can do the rest?
Yeah, she laid a bait out there.
Right, and I'm not biting on that shit, because if you want to talk to me, talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I've already extended the olive branch. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing more for me to do. So unfortunately for all the listeners that you have for Grown Men Chopping It Up,
They wanted you to find
unfortunately, the outcome so far is anticlimactic. No pun intended, because I did plan on climaxing with her, but it didn't happen.
Right.
But
that was good.
but it's still not over.
No.
My friend always comes back to me like, I guess she still thinks that there's hope, because she wanted us to get together. She's really cool with both of us. So, and I feel bad for her, because she was put in a position, because this girl was trying to get her to stop being cool with me.
Whoa.
Now, I would tell my friend Eva, I said, the feelings got to be strong if her mission is to stop having people cool with me that's cool with her.
Damn it.
Because me, I've never once thought of trying to have friends stop being her friends because she's not cool with me. Like, that never came across my mind. Right. That's what I want to add. And she's even had other people who I had good relations with, not tight friends, not like me and Eva, but we would communicate, we would talk, how you doing, small talk. All of a sudden, they ain't talking to me no more. And where's this coming from?
That's crazy.
So what is that telling me? What's telling me is, although this is negative energy that you're putting out, I'm worth it to a certain extent for you to use energy even on me, and I ain't using no energy on you.
Right.
So that's the problem. You want to pause it. So that's when I know. I said, you still got feelings, because you show them indirectly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not showing you nothing. I'm stone-faced in all this now.
Right.
So it's on her. The ball's in her court, and that's exactly what I told Eva.
The balls.
And you know what? To be honest with you, I think it's gotten to a point where there may be a point of no return.
Ooh.
She is fine though, so for those beautiful people, there's always that little oomph of a chance. But I gotta be a man and stand on my own too, and have my principles that I have to, keep close to my chest. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. I've moved forward.
FDB.
Eva always tell me, oh, she asked about you. Oh, she said she'll comment about something that I did that day or something. And I'm just like, I go, this girl, I don't know, if she put her energy into just talking to me, because she knows she can, we'd at least be friends again.
She's manipulative.
And that's what Eva said. Because Eva's gotten to a point that Eva feels that this girl is starting to take steps back from their friendship because of me. She don't talk. She talks to her less. She doesn't. When she calls or texts, she don't respond right. It'll be like 2 or 3 days or nothing at all. When they're around each other, it's not the same. And I told Eva, I said, I think it got something to do with me. I think it got something to do with she couldn't get you to stop being cool with me, and now she's taking that a certain way.
Wow.
So let me ask you, because that's basically where it's at right now. So unfortunately for the listeners out there, if you enjoyed the root for the small guy story in episode 1,
Rudy.
but I will tell you this: I haven't lost, because I done fadangled around since that time.
Yeah.
And life is good. Ain't no chick gonna determine if my life's gonna be good or not. But anyways, I want to ask you, because the whole point of this, for us to even get to episode 2, was I just called you as a personal friend of mine.
Yeah.
And wanted your advice.
And I exploited it and put it on the show.
And now you got a million viewers. Cut the check.
You know what I'm saying?
But anyways, or a million listeners, I should say. I want to ask you, when a girl tries so hard to make it seem like they don't care about you, and that you're not a thought in their mind, right? Because that's the aura she'll give, not talking to me or anything like that. But yet they're putting their energy into making sure that people y'all was both cool with ain't cool with you no more.
Right.
What is that? Well, I mean, I think there's something.
I think she needs counseling. but back when I was single, if a girl did me like that, I would make it a point to do whatever I had to do to fuck her and to stop talking to her. I mean, I want to be that karma that she got coming, because you've done that to a lot of guys. So I'm finna do this one solid for the little guy in the back.
Now,
fuck her and leave her.
Now here's the thing. I know if I go against my own principles and just come at her and be like, look, we gotta talk, trap her in the corner. Not in an aggressive way,
toxic.
No, this is metaphorically speaking.
Trap her in the corner.
Always. Trap her in the corner, lock the door. No, but trap her in the corner, so to speak, that's metaphor.
It's a knife.
It's metaphorically, it's metaphor. But, basically come at her and be like, look, on your next break, we're going to go talk.
Yeah.
She'll do that because that's what she's waiting for. But I on a less aggressive way, have already told her that the door's open for that. All you got to do is tell me you're available. Right. She wants me to take control and be like, no, we're going to talk today. At this time, you better be there.
Yeah.
And I bet you she will.
Take control.
But the thing about it is that's not how I want any relationship or friendship to start or come from that. It should be a mutual respect.
You have to keep it up.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's exhausting, man. Because I'm a very laid back dude. I like to take things easy. There's times where I take control because it's necessary, or it's time for me, or this is a situation where I should be in control or take control of. But for two people to have a mature conversation, I don't think it takes someone to be in control of it. I think two people need to be on the same page and say, well, let's have this conversation, and whatever the result is, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, because she sounds so bipolar to me. Like, she wants to push you away, but behind your back, she wants to pull you in.
Right.
It's like, come on, it's nerve-wracking.
Right.
Life is hard enough already.
And that's why I was like, it's a game at this point to me. That's the best word I could use. And I don't play games. I am at an age now where I don't got time for that.
Yeah.
The way I am nowadays, just like how they say, when a girl looks at you, she knows she's gonna fuck you or not, right?
Right.
Or something like that.
They say that.
I think they rephrase that now for this era.
But because it's toxic.
Because it's toxic. Right? So, but here's what I'll tell you about me, and I don't know if a lot of other men do this. They may. But now when I see a woman or speak to a woman or get to know her for like a few days or whatnot, I know if you're just a fuck thing, a friend with benefit, or wifey.
Right.
Now, when I know that you're one of those four things, I'm gonna be honest with you according to the category you just fell in. So, like, there's girls, because when I was younger, I was a little heartless.
Yeah.
I sell her the dream, or she would just assume that it's gonna be something, and I'll let her assume that.
Yeah. I've met mothers with no intention of being with this chick.
No intention of raising your kids.
Right, your daughter's wonderful.
What time she going to sleep?
Right.
But so I'm straight up with these chicks. I'm like, when I know we're at a point where we're about to get intimate now, I have that conversation with them before I dog them out.
Wow.
Well, it wouldn't be dogging out now because I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, you setting it up.
I'd be like,
I'm gonna tell you the truth.
I mean, I ain't gonna be straight up like, you ain't wifey material, or
I'm just fucking.
Yeah, you're just something I could knock down and never tell my friends about.
Damn it.
But I'd be like, look, this is where I'm at in my life. This is not what I'm looking for, but this is what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying?
Tell her she's a puzzle piece and this is where you fit.
And yeah. or we'll make you fit for the night at least.
Right, I'll squeeze you in the hose. Square peg in a round
You might
hole.
bend the edge a little bit, but no. But I'm honest to that point. I mean, some women appreciate it, some don't, because they always want to be what it is that they already are in their head. And you know, but I'm honest, like my ex. My ex just bought a house. She moved outside of the Bay Area, let's say.
Wow.
So we didn't talk for like 3 years. So this is me going on another subject, if you don't mind.
No, move on.
She came out the blue, started hollering at me, wanted me to see the new house.
Hey.
I went out there, saw the house, cool little house. You know, my hat's off to her. I don't wear hats, but if I did, it would be all to her. Right? We ain't talking 3 years, but I've known her for like, I've known her longer than any ex-girlfriend.
Nice.
And we've always had a little on and off thing. It's funny how it'd be like a 3-year pattern too.
She was your go-to.
I was her go-to because when we would not talk or see, I just forget about her. And then she think about me. She always reached out after every certain amount of time.
Wow. To something familiar.
Right. But every time that she reached out, I elevated my game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she'll always come to a different version of who I am, although I'm still the same, just more improved.
Right.
Depending on the era.
2.0.
Depending on the era, because there was an era where I wasn't doing too good, and we touched on that in the first episode.
Right.
Anyway, so I go see her spot, and you know it's like lovey-dovey, like she's on me, she's happy I'm there, ain't seen me in hella long.
See.
I knock him down.
Of course.
You know.
You don't disappoint.
No, I didn't, and I feel like I've known you this long. We don't have to have this type of conversation. I mean, if we ain't together by now,
Yeah.
the hell makes you think we are just because you got a house? I don't want your house.
Right. It's not mine. My name ain't on it.
It kind of felt like she was presenting the package. Like, I'm ready now. I got a house now. Let's do this, without saying it.
Right.
She just started laying up in bed, that all of it was going to fall into place.
Right. Like, how many cows you gonna give me?
Yeah, right? How many gallons of milk will that produce?
Right. What's your dowry?
Right. So, you know, we had a good weekend. I went home. Right?
Whoa.
Week and a
The
half.
whole weekend.
Week and a half go by. We went the whole weekend, but it was a 3-day weekend, and I got there on a Saturday, and I think I left Sunday night. I didn't even stay for the holiday, which was on a Monday. Right?
Take that.
But she had to work anyways that Monday, so it was no big deal. But I didn't call her for like a week, but I didn't feel like I had to.
Right.
Because all that would do is make me fall into that trap of calling you every day. Now, you know what I'm saying? That whole, you know how females can silently trap you?
Oh, yeah.
That shit, right?
They're good at that.
So she hits me up like, you ain't called me in a week.
Whoa.
You just gonna hit it and bounce like that for real?
Yes.
Like, and I'm just like, well, I mean, what you want me to say? I mean, you know my situation. You know, I got things to take care of here. You know, I still got a mother to take care of, whatnot. I mean, I didn't know. You know, I said it.
What was I supposed to do?
Yeah, like I'm like, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna call you every day for what? We cool.
Yeah.
We call when we call. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
Because when she called me complaining about that, she already had that argument tone, and I had checked her on it.
I'm not your dude.
No, I mean, I was just like, you sound like you want to argue. I can tell by your tone.
Wow.
Which she's like, oh shit, this guy knows me too well. So I don't want to drag that on, but that got kind of ugly just 2 weeks ago, because I would always break it to her, you know, softly, like, hey, I'm busy. I'm just, you know, I got this going on and that going on. She'll act like she understands. Right, but then every day off she has, because she has this weird schedule where she's off every other weekend, she'll think that, okay, well, I'm not off this weekend, so I'll give him that week to do what he gotta do. But that following week where I'm off that weekend, it's mine.
Whoa.
And I saw that pattern, and I was just like, when you gonna come through? And woo, I haven't seen you this long, and I feel like you just used me, like. And I'm like, here we go, this shit.
Like, I like to wear different kinds of shoes.
Right. So that got ugly, because finally I was just like, oh, and then she started getting disrespectful, because it just seemed like things weren't going the way she planned them. So now she's upset, and now she's coming at me hella wrong. Like, I'll crack a little joke, and she just fucking goes ape shit. Or,
that wasn't funny.
Yeah, start tripping. So I had called her. I said, look, I think I know what's going on here. You had an expectation that I didn't give you, and you see that it ain't going that way, and now you're getting upset about it, and now you're being a certain way with me about it. So you're in your feelings. I go, we friends for life. And I said that on purpose, although that's the truth. She don't want to be friends for life. She wanted to be another level. So so it got ugly because I said friends for life. She didn't like that.
You put her in a friend zone eternally.
I mean, after so many years, you have to fit in the category. I had to put you in the category. So I did, and she didn't like it, and that's that. But hey, I'm still young. Life is good.
That's right.
You know, the story didn't end happily for those who may have wanted it that way, or for me wanting it that way. But the story isn't bad.
Not at all. It's to be continued.
It really is. And you know, the cast changes. I'm the star of the show. The cast gonna change.
Right. the players and the cast change.
So I wanna say this to you, Carrie.
Right on.
From episode 1 to this one not being so happy ending or climactic, what is your assessment about this whole thing, and what kind of advice you can give me moving forward in my endeavors regarding relationships and women?
Well, I'm kind of glad that you got rid of that toxic girl. Notice I said girl. I didn't even say bitch this time.
But you said toxic. I think that's worse than bitch, to be honest with you. Imagine saying you are toxic, and she's like, "Oh my God, you didn't call me a bitch. I'm offended."
Right. Bitch fits better.
It doesn't sting as much.
Right.
No,
Right.
no.
It's good that you got, because that seemed like that was a setup for something to be over emotional, not having any fun, but constantly having to discuss shit.
Argue,
And that's
fight.
something you don't even really want to discuss shit when you're sitting in the house. It's like you may want to sit next to each other and not say nothing.
Right.
That's perfect. I mean, we just have an understanding that, okay, this is what I'm going to do.
And things don't even need to be said.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
what has been said already.
Right.
But even for the future, by there being millions upon millions of other women out there, a woman will actually present herself to you when you're in the state that you're in. They come out of the woodwork.
Right.
Either whether they be people you used to mess with, or I say people, it's mainly women, right?
Yeah.
It's only women. So
We're in an era where it's interchangeable, but I'm still old-fashioned in that way.
only lady parts. So yeah, the women will come out of the woodwork. You'll see them in a supermarket. If you go to church, those kind of church women are freaks.
Well, you least expect it, really.
Yeah, church women are freaks. You know, all of them.
Is that true?
Yes, it's
I need to
very
go to
true.
church.
Very true. I mean, I went to a church once. It was years ago. It wasn't any time recent. When I joined the church, everybody gives you a hug and a kiss. They were kissing me on my neck.
Whoa.
And I told my girl at the time, I'm like, hey, were they kissing you on the neck too? She's like, no.
Wow.
It was just me.
You know, a kiss on the neck give a man a boner real quick.
Shit, I had to sit down. Shit. But yeah, I mean, going forward, everything should be positive. You have your pick of the litter.
Right.
Being single, there's nothing wrong with it at all.
No, it's great.
People try to put it forward like, oh, you're single, nobody loves you. That's not true. You got the world is your oyster.
You know who gives me the slack on that? My male friends' wives and girlfriends.
Oh, yeah.
Or my male friends don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Associates don't care. My friends' wives and girlfriends
Mm-hmm.
will always be like, "Why you ain't got kids?
Wow.
Why you ain't married yet?"
Mm-hmm. It's a buddy of mine that's my age right now that doesn't have kids, and I already told him, look, don't even have them.
Right.
There are no guarantees. Kids fuck up everything. Kids are beautiful and they're from God, blah blah blah, what people say.
Right.
But kids fuck up everything. Once you have a kid, it's like the woman sees it as, oh, I got the upper hand now. I got a kid by him. She got you hanging by the child support balls. So you be sitting there apologizing, shit. Please don't leave me. I don't want to have to pay child support.
Right.
It's fucked up.
Right.
But I mean, kids are not the end all be all. You get to travel.
My thing is this: like, my dad tried to push me to have kids, and where's he at now in my life, right? My mom never pushed me to have that. She was more of the weary of women type of thing. But me, I made my own decision.
Yeah.
I have gotten women pregnant. I'm not proud to say it like that. But it has nothing to do with me not being able to have children.
Yeah.
Because there were times I even have a tattoo of a child that I was, that I almost had in 2009.
Wow.
Stillborn situation. We won't get into that.
That
But
hurts.
that kind of did something to my psyche a little bit. I was like, I don't want to go through that again.
No.
And also, even before then, I wasn't crazy about having kids. Like, I don't have nothing against kids. Kids are wonderful. I have godkids, nephews and nieces, things of friends, my friends' children and stuff like that. But I always felt like I haven't accomplished what I want to accomplish yet.
Right.
And I felt like if I have children, all that's going to be put on hold because now I have something that's more important in myself that I have to take care of. And knowing me and how I am and how my father wasn't, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
And that's what happens.
Right. And this is not me talking about anyone who has children. So whoever's listening, don't take that the wrong way. That's definitely not what I'm saying.
Hey, fuck 'em.
But everybody's different. You know what I mean? So I'm getting to a certain age where I'm just going to be... I don't know. I think I've reached the threshold, and this isn't true, this isn't a fact, but I feel like I've reached the threshold to myself that it's like, it's either now or never for children.
Yeah.
Give myself for the next 3 years. I'm not dying to have them, but if I fall in love with a woman and it's something we both want to do, that may be the possibility. But if I were to answer you today, I'd say, no, I don't want children. Yeah. And I am at a certain age where it's like, do I even have the energy level to run around with a toddler, a 2-year-old, and this and that? I mean, that's a stupid excuse, but you know.
But that's smart though. It's so smart. Children are very expensive. Because like even if I don't have much money, my kids still have to eat. So I gotta buy them something, and I might starve. Right. You don't have to make those decisions.
Right. And I commend definitely the fathers that take care of their children. That's for real.
Yeah.
My father wasn't there after I was like 13 years old. Some people may be like, man, my dad left when I was 0. But the thing about it is, I got to know my dad. And for him to just take himself away from me was very difficult. But it made me who I am today. So
yeah, it builds,
with all my
builds
defects and all. Right, exactly.
Like my father called me the week before he died. He called me and he said, you know, I seen him 3 times in my life. Right. You know, I was 6, like 13 and 14 or some shit like that. So he called me and he said, you know, are you mad at me? Were you mad at me that I wasn't around? I said, nah, my mother never talked bad about you. You just weren't there. I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? So he died of a heart attack the next week. And
really?
Yeah, I didn't go to his funeral either, bastard.
But you got to talk to him though.
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to him. I guess I let his soul rest.
Right. Yeah.
But you know, when they had his funeral, I had to work that day. So I was like, I'm not gonna be able to make it.
Well, let me ask you this, if you don't mind. Did that conversation do anything for you? Did it provide any closure, or was it mainly the conversation was him trying to cleanse himself from something, and you didn't get a chance to get any relief off of that?
Yeah, I think it was mainly all about him, because even after the conversation, I didn't feel anything. I felt like I just talked to somebody I ain't talked to in a while. Because because the first thing he said, he called me. I didn't even know he knew my number. So somebody in my family gave him my number, and he called me and said, "You know who this is?" That was the first thing he said. Do you know who this is? And I'm like, yeah. I looked at the number. It said 901. I was like, yeah, I know who this is, because nobody else. I don't know any other grown men over there in Memphis. You know, so
right.
So he's like, oh yeah, you know, I just wanted to call and touch bases with you, because he had done a lot of shit over the years that I should have been mad at. But I just said, you know, I'm grown at this point. Fuck it. Because I called him for Father's Day one year, and you know, just off the cuff, you know, I got his number. I'm calling for Father's Day, so I called him, and his wife answered, and she was like, "Oh, he won't come to the phone." I was like, "Oh, well, I didn't know we were enemies. I mean, I'm just calling him, bruh, you know, to tell him Happy Father's Day. What's going on?"
Right.
And he was like, "Well, one of his sons just got shot. He's saying we got enough problems of our own. You know, all kind of excuses and shit." And I'm like, I'm not calling him to ask for anything, and I've never have.
Yeah, that was. I had a similar situation with my dad. Same thing, and we won't turn this episode into
a pity party.
Right. But yeah, I had turned 21, and my dad was still in the city, and I haven't talked to him in 7 years. And something in my conscience was bugging me and telling me, if he died tomorrow, and you find out from someone telling you, you're gonna feel like shit about that. Just go see him and say hi or something. So I went and saw him, because supposedly our birthdays are on the same day.
Wow.
Supposedly.
Okay.
So I was like, I think it might be a cool thing for him to see me on his birthday and whatever, and see his son, young 21-year-old.
You know what I mean?
Man, you know what that motherfucker told me as soon as he opened that door?
What?
He said, I don't know why you're here. I ain't got nothing for you.
I ain't got no money.
That's what he said. He didn't say, hi, how you been? How you doing? And then say, I ain't got nothing for you.
Right.
He said, what are you doing here? I ain't got nothing for you.
God damn it.
And I was like, damn, after 7 years, that's what you got to say?
You're a piece of shit.
Man. I still kept it cool. I felt fucked up, but I kept it cool. We talked for like 5 minutes and then I left because I felt I wasn't welcome. So, but anyways, I commend all the fathers, regardless if it was a bitter separation with women, the woman that you had a child with, or a bitter divorce, or you're still with the woman. You taking care of your children, that's the most important thing. I commend that because it's so easy to walk away. I commend my man Kerry with a K. He's got children. He's here for his children. He's doing this thing. And I can only commend men that do that because it's so easy to just walk away from those responsibilities.
Yeah,
so with that being said, life is good. Life is great. I'm a handsome young man. I'm going to call myself young.
You know what I mean?
I ain't 21 young, but I'm 31 young. How
31
about that?
set.
So, life is good, man.
Sure.
I thought the first episode was better than the second episode because the first episode had a lot of drama with an open-ended episode, and this one wasn't. But I had a great time with you having me here as a guest.
For sure.
You definitely gave me some good advice that helped me move forward after the first episode because I did come at her when the opportunity came. I did exercise some of the things you told me to say. But you know what? Some people are just not satisfied with just being real with them. Right. They want you to be a part of the circus, and I just wasn't with that.
Right. We ain't swinging on no motherfucking trapeze.
Yeah. So, and I will leave it at this. I feel like if this was a game where there was a winner and a loser, I think I won. Even though that's, a little not a good way to think about it. But if you're still putting your energy into negative things to try to get people not to be cool with me, then you still talking about me to certain people. Obviously, you know that you lost something that could have been cool.
Yeah, you just gotta make her witness the glow up.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we're gonna do, baby.
For sure.
So thank you, sir, for having me.
Very much.
I hope this is one of many.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go from there, y'all.
For sure.
This is Latino Nino. Y'all got any comments or anything regarding this episode? If you don't mind me saying that, you can always hit Grown Men Chopping It Up wherever they get hit up.
Grown Men Chopping It Up at gmail.com.
Boom.
Thank you very much. This has been Grown Men Chopping It Up, and this is Kerry with a K with a Latino Nino. We out.
So that concludes our show tonight. We know there's a lot of podcasts you could be listening to.
And should be listening to.
So we thank you for riding with us. I'm J.R. Ryder.
And I'm Kerry with a K. Make sure you look us up on Facebook or Instagram, or get at us on grownmenchoppingitup at gmail.com. That's spelled out GROWNMENCHOPPINGITUP. And remember, everybody kneeling ain't praying.
Peace.